When you were 13 years old, I read that there was a point where you didn't want to be here. If you're comfortable
Hmm.
talking about it, what kind of led to that point, and what do you remember feeling?
Yeah, so a lot of these things that I'm sharing with you and talking about led to that point. The bullying things and like I said, all the the things that was happening within the the faith that I was raised in, and then transitioning to a new school, going from elementary school to middle school. I went to the Missouri School for the Blind, and then that whole situation happened,
Mhm.
and when I say that whole situation happened, like I mentioned, the blind kids, talking about bullying and stuff like that. I thought I was going to a school where other kids can relate, but now here I am. I'm getting the same kind of treatment that I was getting back in elementary school and all this other stuff. And family issues was going on, and I was introduced even more to the whole um, your kid has a spirit of infirmity, and we got to cast this spirit out of him, and I just wasn't feeling accepted anywhere. Long story short, I never really looked at, and a lot of people will turn and be like, God, why did you make me this way? I never looked at God as the issue.
Mhm.
I just looked at the fact where it's like, I'm the problem and the cause for a lot of this stuff that is going on in my every day to day life. I'm bringing it on myself. I was just taking on a lot of crap that was all on me. You know what I'm saying? And it did get to that point where I was just like, wherever I turned, whoever I turned to, I just couldn't receive any kind of answers.
Mhm.
I couldn't receive any kind of legit help. Um, I didn't know how to explain what I was dealing with and what I was going through. And like it's crazy when I think about this now, going into what me and my wife is, as I mentioned earlier, into going into now biblical counseling.
Mhm.
Um, we're studying and training up to become biblical counselors. So parts of that is me wanting to be help and a light to those people that are dealing and having these same kind of issues that I had back then.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't have a mentor. I didn't have any kind of honestly positive influence in my life at that point in time.
Mhm.
And so I just felt so alone. And it got to that point.
Yeah.
But by the grace of God, that got turned around, honestly. And I don't want to get too graphic, but it was there was an attempt,
Mhm.
and yeah, like I said, I got pulled out of it, and that was literally just by God's grace, just because there was nobody else at home.
Yeah.
So
If you could go back to 13-year-old David on that day, what would you say to yourself, knowing all that you know now, all that you've been through and overcome?
honestly, it's going to get better. Like it's all for a purpose. Just trust in the process and just continue to trust in God 100%. No, I wouldn't change everything that I've gone through, honestly. I've been through a lot, but honestly, it shaped me into who I am now. I would not have honestly the faith that I do, the confidence that I do. I would even go as far as to say the mindset that I do, like the way that I comprehend and think, and even like my grasp on different things. I wouldn't even have this if I didn't go through all those things that I have gone through. So
Yeah.
it's like just stick with the process, bro. It's going to be hard. The storm is going to continue to rise. I wouldn't say it's going to end because we're going to have trials in life all through the day we are taken to one place or another,
Mhm.
but at the end of the day, like, hey, you're going to get through that depression. Like, that's the biggest thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just getting through that period.